Today, the visionaries were probably going to drag me across the coals today because it was going to be an A- day for the state. First time ever. Why an A- though, Seti Nash? Well, because at the end of the day, there were a couple of officers who shouldn't have been there, in my opinion, and still laid it out with this.
Your Honor, in the interest of time, I made this objection before. The state is putting up people who respond to a scene. And I just don't see the connection. Without somebody saying, and this person did it, there is some assumption that because Kenneth Copeland, I'm just using his name, lived at this location, all of a sudden that is somehow relevant to our case. And I think that without the people who were responsible or the people to come in and say, yes, I did this for the motivation of this, and then you find it responsible, I'm going to object. I mean, it's come in so much. I've argued before the predecessor judge who said no, and we'll take it up later, and I just don't see the connection. You kept out the, okay.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I am sure that the state would love if they could have somebody come in and say, I was responsible and here's why. They apparently don't have that, and it's inferential, it's circumstantial, but they're entitled to prove their case with circumstantial evidence if that's all they have. And so I feel you, but I'm going to overrule your objection.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So I'm with still, but I also can understand why the judge is essentially saying that, because you can draw a web and then start to pull these things in to draw the inference. Essentially what she's saying and what today's grand thing was about was there were multiple shootings and they were essentially supposed to be diving into the YSL, YFN war or YFN, YSL war. Listen, I know people from both sides and stuff like that, and Atlanta respect me enough because I respect them enough. I don't get involved in y'all politics. You know I'm a California cat, baby. California bear indeed. But neither here nor there. State got through with 19 witnesses. So, all right. They got done with 19 witnesses. We even had YFN Lucci's mom pop up, which we'll get into that later on in the video. And I'm about to just piss y'all off in the beginning. I want y'all to pay attention to what this witness said, because it was so poignant that it's going to lead me to the very next video.
Defense.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for your time. You are excused. Call your next witness.
So that's it, right?
That's it.
Okay, they're gonna stop all the threats, right? Because I almost lost my job when they came to my job, threatened to lock me up.
Well,
So,
I am very sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But you are free to go.
Thank you.
Yeah, you want to know what his testimony was? Was that his van got shot up and that he moved it and that he was cool with somebody? That's it. Like, y'all couldn't have had an officer come through, show some pictures of a van that got shot up. Why was he needed? I'm trying to understand. Like, eventually, y'all do have to ask yourself a simple question. Am I messing up regular people's lives because I feel like it? Or are they supposed to get on there and bear some type of trauma and then everybody's supposed to go, oh my gosh, what the hell was that? So there's only one or two ways that could go. And since they're not showing any trauma, y'all disrupt them. Y'all threaten to lock them up. Just like you state employees threaten to lock this woman up. And I'm about to go off, so once she's done testifying, if you want to skip the next part of me going off with cussing and all of these things, I'm forewarning you now, because it's going to happen.
Okay, so we're...
Can you get ready right now? You swear for your testimony to give the day the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right. State and spell your name first and last name. Give the mic first, please.
My name is Janice Merriweather, Janice Merriweather.
Good morning, Ms. Merriweather.
Good morning.
Do you have a son by the name of? Do you have a son by the? Did you have a son by the name of Kenneth Hurst, aka Kenny Boo?
Yes.
Okay. And did Mr. Hurst have any children prior to his passing?
Yes.
How many children did he have?
6.
And do you have any other children?
No, those are my only son.
Do you have any daughters?
Adopted daughters, yes.
All right. Do you have any more grandchildren?
No.
Okay.
I have 2 great grands.
Okay. And was there a time that you resided at 193 Hendricks Avenue?
Yes.
And just a brief moment, Your Honor. Do you know Waikithia Brock?
Yes.
And who is that to you?
My grandkid's mother.
Okay. And how many grandchildren did she give you?
4.
And what is her relationship to Kenneth Hurst?
With his girlfriend.
Okay. And I want to ask you a few questions, Ms. Merriweather. Do you recall your home being shot up on January 12th, 2015?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall law enforcement coming out that day in reference to such activity?
Like I said, I can't remember. The only time I remember was 2015.
Yes, that's the date I just referenced, January 12th, 2015.
That might have been it.
Okay. It's fair to say it's been a while since that date. Yes, ma'am. And on that day of January 12th, 2015, what were you doing when your house was shot up?
In the bed.
Okay. Were you asleep?
Yes.
And was it early morning?
Yes.
Okay. And at the time that you heard the shots ring out and hit your home, what, if anything, did you do at that time?
Got on the floor.
Okay. And was anyone else home with you at that time?
Yes.
Who was with you at home?
Charlisa Gaines, Lucille Moore, and Charlisa kids.
Who is Charlisa Gaines?
My adopted daughter.
Okay. And who is Lucille Moore?
My mother.
Okay. And do you recall about how long the shots rang out?
How long did they?
Yes, ma'am.
Say that again.
Yes, ma'am. Did the shooting last a long time or a short time?
It lasted a pretty long time to shoot up my house.
Yes, ma'am. Which of your grandchildren were there at that time?
He was a baby Cam.
Okay. And was there a time during that, before or after that shooting, that Charlisa came to the home, if you recall?
Charlisa came to the home. I think it was before the shooting. I'm not. I think it was before the shooting.
Okay. Did she come after the shooting occurred to pick up her children?
No. Was it before or after? It had to be before the shooting.
Okay.
Because he had to get on the floor too.
Okay. And when after the shots were fired, do you know who called the law enforcement?
I called him then.
Okay. And did they respond to your home? Did they come?
Yeah, they came.
And
I don't know what time it was, but they came.
Okay. Do you recall if the shot sounded like a handgun or a bigger gun?
A bigger gun.
When you say a bigger gun, do you say does it sound like it went in rapid succession?
No, like that.
Okay. Was anyone hurt as a result of the shooting?
No, nothing but my house.
And when you say your house, what property outside of the structure of the home was affected?
My windows.
Okay.
My furniture, my dining room, my TVs, my washroom, bedroom.
Right. Do you recall your home being shot up a second time on February 10th, 2015?
I wasn't at home then, I don't think.
Okay. Excuse me. When you returned home to find your home shot up, what, if anything, did you do on that day?
I can't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Do you recall if you were washing clothes?
I know I had put some clothes in the washer.
Do you recall if anyone else had returned to the home with you on February 10, 2015?
Mm-mm.
Do you recall if on February 10th, 2015, if there was anyone, excuse me, I'll rephrase. Do you recall on February 10th, 2015, if law enforcement came to your house that second time?
I think so.
Okay. And what property other than the structure of your home the second time was damaged by the shots?
My back, the back of my house.
Okay. And prior to these first and second shootings of your home at 193 Hendricks Avenue, had anything like that ever happened at your home before?
No,
Okay. Do you know who would have done such a thing to your home?
no, I don't.
Okay. Was anyone present inside your home? I know you said you were gone, but was anyone else present inside your home on February 10th, 2015, when the second shooting occurred?
I don't know because I wasn't there because I can't say.
Just a brief indulgence. Just a few questions. A few more questions for you, Mrs. Merriweather.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you lived at the location that we're talking about, your home?
Ever since 1993.
Okay. All right. And do you recall if your house ever had, during the time that you've been there, ever had a pool table out in the back?
Yes, it did.
Okay. I'm now, just a brief moment, Your Honor. I am now marking for identification purposes. State's Exhibit 200 DDD. And I am approaching the witness with the same as your permission, Your Honor.
You may.
I am showing you now, Ms. Merriweather, State's Exhibit 200 Delta Delta Delta. What is it that you're looking at in this exhibit?
Pool table.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
Pool table.
Your Honor, at this point. Sure. Been shown already to the defense prior and shown again today, which is identified already as State's Exhibit 200 Delta Delta Delta. And before departing from you, Mrs. Merriweather, you stated that this is a pool table.
Mm-hmm.
And is this pool table the one that you stated that used to be in the back of your home, depicted in State's Exhibit 200 Delta Delta Delta?
Mm-hmm.
And do you see any persons in State's 200 Delta 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 that you can identify by name?
Can I hold it?
Yes, ma'am. All right.
My son, Kenneth Hurst.
Okay. Do you see anyone else in this photo?
I
that
don't
you
know the rest of
recognize?
those.
Is it common? Was it? And let me ask this question: does this picture fairly and accurately represent the back of your home as you remember it to be when the pool table was there?
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, at this time, the state now moves to admit into evidence State's Exhibit 200 Delta Delta Delta.
That's admitted.
I'm going to leave this here with you and just ask you a few more questions. How often, if you can recall, would your son be in the back playing pool?
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to relevance.
It's relevant, Your Honor. It's relevant, Your Honor. It's hopefully the state's hope is that it will be developed with the questions that follow.
I'll give you a couple of questions to establish that.
All right.
Go ahead.
Just a brief moment, Your Honor. Ms. Merriweather, did you post this picture that has been depicted as State's Exhibit 200, Delta, Delta, Delta to social media?
No, I don't know nothing about no social media.
All right. Just a few more questions, Ms. Merriweather. Do you know a person by the name of Kenneth Copeland, also known as Lil Woody?
Yes,
How do you know him?
my grandkid uncle.
Okay. There was someone that brought you in the courtroom today and helped assist you to get positioned where you're currently seated. Is that the same person that you're talking about named Lil Woody?
Yeah,
Okay. And how long have you known Lil Woody?
it's been a while.
Has he ever been over your home?
Yeah, he used to come now.
Okay. Does he still come?
No,
Okay.
my son ain't that. What he gonna come for?
All right. And Mrs. Merriweather, lastly, does this conclude your involvement with this particular case?
What now?
Is that all that you have to offer the jury at this time?
That's all I know. My son was killed. That's all I know.
Okay, I understand. Thank you so much. No further questions. Your Honor.
Are there defense questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Yes? No questions, but I would like to. Okay. Do I need to keep the witness? Okay. Ms. Merriweather, thank you for your time, and you are excused. And y'all can approach.
Now, let me give you what it was supposed to do, right? Her testimony was supposed to be this sweet old lady whose house was shot up. And basically how she was terrorized for no reason by a bunch of morons and a bunch of idiots who 100% should not have shot that house up. And then as she relived it, we can see the trauma, we can see the fear, we can see the anger, we can see the angst, we can see the defenseless lady. Got it. Now, application of what the fuck happened was bullshit. Because I don't want to get arrested next time I go to court, and I don't want to be booted out of the court at all. Like, I don't want to be banned from the Fulton County courthouse. Let me say this shit. What a fucking pathetic piece of shit ass action y'all took. Y'all action was a piece of shit ass action. And why is that? It's because of this. If she wouldn't have shown up, were y'all gonna arrest her? Because when Buddy just took the stand, y'all was gonna arrest his ass. That's what y'all was gonna do. So would y'all have arrested that sweet old lady? And I can tell you this, had that happened, I know for a fact that the defense would have had to have tried to put that up in there. Because what would have happened was, she would have came through and they would have crossed her and they would have asked her exactly what the hell happened. And if you sick freaks would have did that, you would have lost that jury, which I think y'all lost them anyways. Y'all had Lil Woody come through and roll that woman in just to traumatize her about a son, her only son. And y'all thought that shit through? Nothing about her fucking testimony meant shit. Nothing. The fuck did you take away from that testimony? I think y'all, I hope that, I pray to God, I ain't really care about the case. I just wanted justice to prevail, that people can see that, hey, you know what? The system might need to be reshaped, that we might have to relook at things, that, you know, a lot of prejudice would fall off. But fuck this. I hope all of you people, from Fonnie Willis on down to the damn, I don't want to say the janitor, that's not cool. From Fonnie Willis all the way down to the lowest grade damn lawyer and her whole weak ass cabinet. I hope you people end up disbarred. I hope you people end up somewhere else. I hope you all are fired. I hope they run through that damn place and get rid of all of you people legally with new jobs. That's what I hope. Is that gonna happen? No. But I do wonder, Miss Willis, them people that you go to church with that look like that lady, I wonder if they find this shit out and turn on your ass. I wonder if you get stopped at the damn church. Miss Love, I don't think you even believe in God. I'm gonna be honest. You look like one of the worst atheists. Like, there are some atheists that's cool. Like, all right, you know, they just don't believe in God because of whatever logic. I think you don't believe in God because you just an evil person. That's just me. Brown, you are the worst fucking lawyer I've ever seen in my life, and I hope. Too bad I'm not Haitian, because I would have put a voodoo spell on the back of your goddamn head so that damn thing can start to look like an onion even more. You're already losing it. You 5'7" potato built ass motherfucker. What the fuck was the point of you bringing up her goddamn son, who literally the judge had to tell the jurors, hey, her son's death had nothing to do with the case. Then your stupid ass wanted to bring him up. All because he's friends with Lil Woody? Yeah, you a piece of shit. Like, bro, you the worst kind of individuals because you ain't got no backbone, you ain't got no balls, and you got small ass feet. I hope you get fired. I hope they see what the fuck you do and all them goddamn loans that you more than likely are in literally take your ass to bankruptcy and you end up eating everything out of a can for at least a year. That's what I hope for you. I don't want no violence. I don't want anything or nothing like that. I don't wish you bad health, but I do hope you get fired and eat shit out of a can for a year. That's just me. Then we had a stepdaddy who is really the daddy because you can tell he ain't like Lil Woody ass at all.
Did you live with anyone at that address, or did you live there alone?
No, me and my wife,
Okay. And what is your wife's name?
April Quarterman.
Okay. I'm sorry, you said the last name?
April Quarterman.
Okay. And how long have you been married?
8 years,
How long have you been together?
25.
And do you all share any children in common?
No, just stepkids.
Okay. And what's the names of your stepchildren?
David Quarterman, DeAnthony Quarterman, Deshaun Quarterman.
Okay. Is Deshaun a girl or a boy?
A girl.
And I'm going to direct your attention, just a brief moment. I'm going to direct your attention to the date of January 11th, 2015. Do you remember that date?
Yes.
Okay. And can you describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you remember about that date in brief?
It's depending on what you talking.
Sure. Do you recall law enforcement coming out to your home on that morning?
Yes.
What do you recall about them having to come to your home on that morning for?
My house was shot up.
All right. Want to unpack some of that. Around or about what time would you say, Mr. Yarbrough, was your home shot up?
Anywhere between 11:45, 12 o'clock that night.
And what were you doing at that time when your home was shot up?
I was asleep.
Okay. And in the home that you're describing, about how many bedrooms are therein?
That was three bedroom. It was a 3-bedroom house.
And was anyone else home at the time that it was shot up, as you described?
No, I was the only one there.
Okay. And when you were asleep and you heard the shots, well, let me ask this question. Did you hear the shots ring out that impacted your home?
Yes, that what woke me up.
Okay. And when you heard the shots that hit your home, what, if anything, did you do at that time?
I hit the floor once I realized it was gunshots.
Right. And were these gunshots shots that were single fire shots, or did they sound like a machine gun?
No, it was a machine gun.
All right. And when you say machine gun, are you saying that it sounded like they were in rapid succession?
They were shooting an AK-47.
Okay. And where was your wife at the time that the shooting occurred?
She was at my sister's birthday party.
Okay. Were you supposed to be there that evening?
Yes.
And why did you choose not to go?
I wasn't feeling good. I had a headache.
When the shooting was occurring at your home, about how long did it last?
Probably about anywhere between 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. And when the shooting, after the shooting occurred, I should say, did you happen to see anybody?
No.
Did you hear anybody?
No, I did not.
What was the next thing that you did after hearing the shots?
I called 911, then I called my wife.
Okay. And did you call any of your stepchildren?
No,
Okay. And what did you tell your wife?
that our house was just shot up.
And did she come to the home? Do you recall if she came to the home after receiving that call?
Yes, she came immediately.
Did anyone else come to the home after that news had been delivered?
Yeah, I had several relatives pull up. Then our kids started pulling up.
Okay. Was Deshaun Quarterman amongst the children that came to the home that evening?
Not at first, we were still trying to locate her.
Okay. And why were you trying to locate her?
Because we had got word that it was a threat on her life.
Objection to the hearsay.
Sustained.
Without saying what anybody said, why were you looking for your stepdaughter at that time?
We were trying to make sure all our kids were safe.
Your Honor, that does not call for.
Overruled.
You may answer the question.
We were trying to make sure all our kids were safe because our house was just shot up for no reason.
Okay. Was there a time that Deshaun lived at that home located at 88 Venera Avenue, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah, she stayed there until she graduated high school in 2011 before she went off to college.
Okay. Would she stay there? Would she stay there or spend the night at different times during that time frame after she had graduated?
No, she had got her own apartment.
Okay. And around what side of town did she stay on?
Over there off of, by Carver home,
Okay. And what side of town do you know that to be?
the west side.
Okay. And do you know, can you describe what relationship, well, let me ask this question. Do you know a person by the name of Kenneth Copeland, AKA Lil Woody?
Yes.
How do you know Lil Woody?
He has a child by Deshaun, which is my granddaughter.
And how old is that child?
She's 10. She turned 10 this year.
Okay. And were there ever times where Deshaun and Lil Woody would be over your home together?
Yes.
Would how often would you say that Lil Woody would be present at your home?
It wasn't often because I actually didn't want a lot of people at my house.
Okay. Was there any particular reason? Let me rephrase. Did you have a problem with Woody being at your home?
I had a problem because I had a daughter who had a boyfriend who wanted to spend the night with her, and I wasn't going to allow that.
That's fair. That's fair. Did you have any other reason to not want her, to not want Woody near your home?
Objection to relevance.
Overruled.
Could I answer that question?
Yes, you can.
Being a parent and knowing that he was a street guy, nobody want their daughter talking to a street guy, basically, bottom line.
Okay. And I hear you say something about being a street guy. What do you have in mind when you say that?
Woody was in the streets.
Okay. When you say in the streets, do you say, is it fair to say that you are articulating that he was around people you didn't like?
I didn't know too much know anybody that he hung with, but it's just the things that you heard that he did in the street.
Okay. It's just a brief indulgence, Sean. When the gunfire hit your home, were you impacted by any of the shots?
No, was I hurt?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Do you know anyone else in the community or nearby area to have been hurt or their home affected by the gunfire?
Close the hearsay. Objection.
Rephrase.
Did you see anyone else in the community injured?
No.
Did you see anyone else's home impacted by gunfire?
No, I did not see it.
Did you see anyone else's vehicles impacted by the gunfire that rang out that morning?
No.
How long did your daughter, Deshaun Quarterman, date Lil Woody?
I think they wound up separating probably like a couple of months after the baby was born because he was in and out of jail.
I'm sorry, you said after the...
They broke up a couple of months after their baby was born.
Okay. Sorry. And do you know if they ever resumed their relationship after that initial breakup?
No, they were just friends.
Okay. And I want to circle back to something you said earlier when you testified about initially hearing the shots. How do you know that the shots were an AK-47?
I'm from the projects. I know what an AK-47 sound like.
Okay. And is it fair to say that you've heard it shot on more than one occasion?
I guess once again, I'm from the projects.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And how do you know, I'm going to circle back to something you said earlier. How do you know that Lil Woody was in the streets, as you say?
He was from McKinneyville.
Okay.
As everybody know, and 30 Deep was from McKinneyville.
Do you know Lil Woody to be a part of 30 Deep at that time? Did you know him to be a part of 30 Deep?
No, I did not. I just know they reside in Mechanicsville.
And when you say 30 Deep, what do you know that to be?
It was a gang. It was a group of guys that went around running in stores, running out with blue jeans.
You started to say something, and it sounded like you hesitated. Were you about to say, what were you about to say?
About what?
About 30 Deep, when you said it was a group, and then you hesitated. What were you about to say?
It was a group of guys that ran in and out of stores stealing blue jeans.
Is it fair to call that group of guys that do what you just described a gang?
Objection.
Sustained.
All right. Don't answer that, please. Do you have personal knowledge that Lil Woody was a part of 30 Deep?
No, I do not.
Okay. When Deshaun and Lil Woody ended up breaking up, did they continue a co-parenting relationship that worked?
As long as he was out of jail.
Okay. Did you know the group that you described Lil Woody to be around ever to be known as the Blue Jean Bandits?
I think the media gave him that name.
Sustained.
Do you know the name of Blue Jean Bandits?
Objection on irrelevant.
Sustained.
Just a brief moment. Your Honor, may we approach?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
May we approach, Your Honor, on the last ruling briefly?
You may. All right, you can proceed, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you know what kind of car Woody drove?
Woody didn't own a car.
Okay. Did he operate one from time to time?
You know, he probably had plenty of people probably gave him their car, but I don't think he actually owned the car.
Okay. You earlier said that you didn't want Woody to spend the night at your home. Were there times that you found out that he did?
Yes.
And based on the frequency of him being at the house, strike that. I want to ask that question, Your Honor. Have you heard of a person by the name of Demise McMullen, or AKA Nard?
I heard of a Nard.
Okay. And have you ever seen him around the area of 88 Venera Avenue?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. Probably need some clarification as to when witnesses says he knows
Sustained.
Nard.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
I do
objection?
understand.
Okay.
How do you know Nard?
I couldn't hear you.
That's not the objection, and that doesn't address the issue. The issue would be whether or not the person he knows as Nard is the other name mentioned by the prosecutor.
All right. I'll ask a foundational question, Your Honor.
All right.
All right. Do you know the Nard that you're speaking of to be one of the defendants in this case?
No.
Okay. Is that a no, you don't know for certain, or is that a no, that is not the person you're talking about?
That is not the person I'm talking about.
Okay.
So essentially what he was supposed to do is come through and testify that Lil Woody and everybody was in gangs and stuff like that. That's ultimately what his testimony was. So there's that. Within the beginning, because this was all in the beginning, we got done with I want to say 9 witnesses before, about 9 witnesses before the damn lunch was up. So there was that. But even then, as fast as it seemed like today was, I ain't gonna hold you. I think Judge Whitaker hit the nail right on the head with these 2 clips right here.
Promised that a bunch of these people would be, on and off. And yesterday that seemed to be the case, and that was fantastic. And we've taken a whole lot longer with some of these witnesses today. So let's try to get back to kind of how we were yesterday, okay? All right. I have a lot of questions. Y'all had, when we were reviewing witnesses, told everybody that Officer Clay was only going to be called if the homeowner didn't recall things, and then he seemed to have recalled everything. So did we really need her? Probably not. We'll take that into consideration. Okay.
And then, I think it was last year. Yeah, last year I said on the freaking channel that, hey, YFN Lucci's mom is about to come testify. It's supposed to be a bombshell of a doggone freaking testimony. And it just wasn't. Just like a majority of moms today in America, even mine's included, they know what the hell their sons was doing. They might have ideas and inklings and all this stuff and everything like that, but that's still mama's baby. So essentially, she talked about her house being shot up twice. First time she wasn't there, second time she was. And then, I ain't gonna hold you, even though we didn't see her, Lucci mama kept it player. And I ain't talking about like she wasn't giving up statements and all that crap. I mean, she was like, she had a little dude, and y'all ain't about to learn about him. Hey, just shout out to YFN Lucci mama, because she basically was like, hey, bruh, we're not bringing him up in here. No. Leave that boy alone. You ain't finna come through and talk about nothing. So I trimmed out what I think is the most important part of it.
What, if any, damage was done to your home the first time?
A lot of holes in the wall.
And was there anyone injured during the first shooting?
No.
Prior to the first shooting, did anything like this ever happen at your home?
No.
Did you know who shot up your home? Did you ever learn who may have shot up your home?
No.
And to this day, do you know why your home was shot up?
No.
And I think I asked, do you know if anyone who was living in your home had any issues or conflicts that would cause anyone to shoot up your house?
No.
No, you don't know, or no one had any conflicts?
No.
And I'm just sorry, no one had conflicts?
No.
Okay. Now, the second shooting, you said that was about a day or so later?
Yes.
Do you remember being about 4 days later?
I know I left about 2 days and came back. It might have been 4 days. I don't remember.
Okay. After the first shooting, did I hear you say you left the house?
I left for like 2 days or maybe one night. I can't remember.
And when you returned, was that when the second shooting happened?
Yes.
The same day that you returned?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about the second time that your home was shot up. Who was at home during that second time that your home was shot?
The same three.
And would that be your granddaughter? I believe Juju, your friend who sometimes come over.
Yes, my friend.
Your friend. And then was your granddaughter's mother there?
Yes.
Okay. And on this occasion, where were you before hearing the gunshots or the gunfire?
Before hearing it, I was in the bed.
And is this your same bedroom that's in the front of?
The front of Hill Street.
Tell the jurors, what do you remember while you were in tell the jurors what you remember about that night.
I just heard a lot of gunshots.
In your room, was there anyone else in your room?
Yes.
Okay. Was that your friend?
Yes.
All right. And where was he at inside of the room?
In the bed.
Once you heard the gunshots, what, if anything, happened?
We noticed we were shot.
When you said we knew we were shot,
I said, that's when I noticed. I seen blood.
Okay. Where did you see the blood?
On my bed.
At the time, did you know if it was your blood or his blood? Did you know?
I didn't know.
Once you saw the blood, did you try to get out of the bed?
No.
What about your friend? Did he try to get out the bed?
I think he did, because I think he went and grabbed my grandbaby. I can't remember.
Had he been hit?
Yes.
And your friend, what was his name?
Elster.
And is that last name Elston?
No.
Okay. Where were you hit?
In my right calf.
And do you know where Elston was hit?
I don't remember. I just know it was in his leg.
In his leg as well. I know you said you heard a lot of shots. Could you tell if it was one gun, multiple guns? Could you tell?
Several guns.
It sounded like several guns. And I'm going to ask you, for the first time when you weren't hit, did it sound like it was one gun, multiple guns? Could you tell?
Same shots and gunshots.
Did you have to go to the hospital?
Yes.
In addition to harming you, were there any other damage to your home the second time around?
Yes.
What was damaged the second time at your home?
One was wall, the bathroom mirror.
Of course, indulge just one moment.
Then I want y'all to see something, and this is, I don't want to say it's going to be pro-state. I'm just going to say this is how it's supposed to be. One officer comes in, knocks out her whole testimony in about less than 3 minutes, and I'm going to tell you exactly why she was there, because the state, obviously to me, didn't even show it.
Okay. I'm going to quickly just direct your attention to April 2nd, 2015. Did you have the occasional response to 490 Glen Street?
Yes.
And can you get a jury some basic landmarks of what's at 490 or near 490 Glen Street?
There is an apartment complex located nearby, actually two right there in that area.
Okay. And why did you respond to that location?
To a person shot call.
And once you arrived at that location, what did you see?
At that time, there was a male on the ground that had a gunshot wound to his head.
And were you able to identify who that individual was?
Eventually, yes.
And what was the name of that individual?
Do you mind if I refer to my report?
No problem, yes.
Yeah. That individual's name was Tyreek Rivers.
All right. And was there anyone else present at the scene, any other males present at the scene when you arrived?
Yes, there were two other males.
And where were they when you first arrived on the scene?
They were in the vicinity, like nearby.
Did either of those males direct you to where Mr. Rivers was?
Yes, one of the males did.
And when you went to Mr. Rivers, were you able to see his injury?
Yes.
And once you saw his injury, what, if anything, did you do?
At that time, I most likely requested or ensured that Grady was en route to the location.
And did Grady arrive at the location?
Yes.
And was he transported?
Yes.
After being transported, did crime scene come out to that location?
Yes.
Right. I'm going to show you what's been admitted as 1DDD J when it comes up. Were you responsible for securing the crime scene?
Yes, I most likely assisted.
Okay. And after securing the crime scene and making sure that the individual on the ground was taken to the hospital, would that have concluded your involvement in that case?
Yes.
Of course, indulgence for one moment. I'm going to show you 2DDJ, 3DDJ, and 4DDJ. Do you recognize that location?
Yes.
And is that the area 490 Glen Street?
Yes.
And would you have been the one responsible for calling a homicide investigator out to the scene?
I might have been. It might have been another officer, depending on who was doing what that day.
All right. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, are there any questions for this witness?
Thank you, no questions.
All right, thank you for your time. You may.
Calling Officer V. Campbell. I don't think we'll need to call Officer Pena, and I don't think we'll need to call Officer Lucky, but I can confirm that in the morning for the court, Your Honor.
Okay, what was that last one?
Officer J. Lucky.
Lucky. Okay, well, I was looking at this one that you gave everybody. What about Officer Moore? And it may be that's one of those people whose name has changed, but.
No, that's not an officer. That she testified, Your Honor. That was the older lady in the wheelchair.
Oh,
Janice Moore.
All right.
Yeah, that was the older lady. Well, you heard her called by her other name, Meriwether.
Okay, that was the confusion. Okay.
So then, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I told y'all I'm out of them athletic politics, but it seemed like she'll kill. Yeah, cuz really like that. I don't give a damn how nobody take that. I know who I'm cool with over there as far as, you know, all that. But, bruh, I don't care what nobody said about Shell Kill. Hey, that nigga like that. Regardless of any L's he might have took in the streets and whatever, and whoever got something to say, Shell Kill really like that. Y'all done dropped this man's name at least like 15 times in this damn indictment. So, listen, as far as thugging go, hey, it is what it is. Because what also happened, there was an argument about a letter that had popped out, and it was Shannon, you know, the one who threatened game and all this stuff and everything like that, who seemed to be on demon time, and Shannon, from how Sharp put it, was pressured into just basically pointing out people's names because the police said, who is this person, that person, everything like that. And you know, I think he thought it was harmless, like you already knew it, but I'm going to tell y'all something like this. It's never harmless. What you're ultimately doing is identifying people so that the police could use them down the line for whatever name that they go by, because once somebody's name is a nickname in these streets, they get to tie them into anything. Y'all think it's harmless. Oh, yeah, that's smoke from down the street, cuz. Oh, yeah, that's black from down the street, bro. Oh, yeah, that's this and that's that. You're not even knowing that you're absolutely helping identify this person for future things that they might do, because, let's just be honest, cats who still run in the streets are some of the stupidest individuals on God's green. I want to say God's green earth, but sometimes I wonder if we living on earth with these days that we in these days. But either way it goes. So, basically, Shannon said something he wasn't supposed to say. They blasted that man paperwork, and then basically he went through and recanted all this stuff. Like, nah. And basically how it was alluded to was that, what I just said, the police had him do that. So you have that. Today was really about Woody. Even though his ass wasn't there, they brought his sister up there because his sister got threatened and house got shot up and all this shit. She called the police because she ain't no gang member. You gotta remember, it's regular citizens. Woody's family's house has been getting shot up. And I ain't gonna hold you, they don't know by who. So even as we sit here and we try to figure these things out, even the stuff that that SB did, Shell Kell was in on that, and turns out all three of them cats, none of them got convicted of shooting at them and stuff like that, because I guess the police did some good work on that part. Now, ultimately, we're in the 90s now. As far as witnesses go, if we keep on flying through like this, you could say that all of this shit would be over within the next 2 months. And then we basically get to our verdict basically by February. But I just don't see the people that Brian Steele and everybody else has, how we do that. So if we can keep on with the efficiency, because the same objection that Weinstein had, that Weinstein put up and everything like that, hey, the same stuff that he did, just gonna be fair. It's gonna backfire on their asses when they come through with their witnesses, because best believe Miss Love will object. Abade will object. I think Abade is here for the long run. Now, is he first chair? I don't know. I gotta do a little more digging to find out, send some text messages and all that crap. But he's definitely there for efficiency. But like I said, I was willing to give the state a A-. But once again, y'all fucked up. Y'all did stupid shit. And y'all tried to make it seem like you were going to sit up there and put this woman who had been victimized by this war on there, and you ultimately look like some damn bullies. So share to keep your people aware, subscribe, turn on the bell, stay notified. My bad, y'all, for the late shit, but I'm in Vegas, bro, so it is what it is. But I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that Miss Merriweather's son had been killed, and I just want to let you know that at this point in time, it does not appear that that has anything whatsoever to do with this case, okay? All right, call your next witness.